Hey there, everybody. This is Patrick Charlie. I'm here with Sarah Flint today, and she is going to help us having a conversation about our midweek reflection. And it's going to be a follow on from the series of sermons that we just finished. On Sunday morning, if you were in church or if you've watched a sermon online, you'll have heard me really invite you to be a part of a group that is praying. And I hope that that has come across in the last 5 weeks or so, that really is the invitation that I'm making to our whole church. Sarah has been part of a group that's been praying together for a number of months now, and I invited her just to come and tell us some of that story. So, Sarah, thank you for being here. Tell us a little bit about what drew you to praying with others.
Sure. And thank you for having me. Praying with other people is something I've become really passionate about encouraging others to do. And I was inspired through reading the book Red Moon Rising by Pete Greig. I know many of you are studying Dirty Glory right now. We also studied that book. But as we were reading about the amazing transformative power of the Holy Spirit's work in these communities that were praying together, we started to think, well, instead of just reading about this, maybe this is something that we should try. So our little study group decided to meet together on Zoom every morning and pray together. And we thought we'd do this for the 6 weeks or so while we were studying the book, but we found it to be such a powerful and important experience for all of us. It became a habit, and now I can't imagine not having my little group to start the day with in the presence of God. So it's become very powerful and very important in my life.
That's amazing. You said there, you talked about the transforming work of the Holy Spirit, and that sort of takes me to my next question. How have you grown through this experience, or what has been transformed in you through praying together with others?
Thanks again for letting me share about this because, I'm in my 50s now, and, you kind of get to a point where you think, oh, I've been there, done that, I'm kind of where I'm going to be in life. And I've really felt so much growth over the last year, and I attribute a lot of that to this morning ritual that we have together. I feel so much more connected to where I am personally in the world, how I'm feeling, what's happening in my own life, what's happening in the life of my peer group, what's happening in the life of the church, and what's happening around the world. Because every morning we're very conscious of what do we want to actually bring to this group and pray for together. And it really increases our connection and our awareness of what's happening around us, and putting that good energy of the Holy Spirit into these situations. It's there already, but asking for us humans to feel it more. And just the deep faith that prayers really get answered. I know we shouldn't be surprised, but it's funny how often we think, wow, that thing we prayed for happened. And it's very exciting.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. And, certainly I've accompanied some of you in your journey together, and it's always amazing to hear about answered prayers, and even when those answers are surprising as well, right? It's when it's not what you prayed for, it's what you prayed about, and the answer sort of filtered through somehow. One more question: what have you learned about yourself and your faith journey in this whole thing?
You hit on something in your sermon on Sunday. You said that one of our group had made the comment, just do it. And I can't emphasize that enough, because I was raised Catholic, and doing any kind of ad-lib prayer in public is not part of my upbringing at all. And I was that person when you're in a group and somebody says, will someone pray us in or pray us out? I was the one staring at my feet. Don't call on me, don't call on me. And, I'm not going to say that I'm some eloquent, amazing prayer. I bounce around like crazy. There's no order. It's very conversational and informal. But my comfort level with praying in front of other people has increased dramatically. So that's been something that I personally have experienced. And on the faith level, I would say what I'm really learning still at my age is that we have all these directives from God, and that the church reinforces to do things: worship, prayer, serving, all of these things that we are instructed to do. And we humans resist it so much, but it's also good for us. And I think that's such a good thing to remember, that God isn't asking us to do things that are going to hurt us or, harm us in any way. That God has our best interest at heart. And when we have the faith to go with it, it's really powerful and amazing.
Right. It's that makes me think of that word from the book of Jeremiah in the Bible. I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and plans for your good. Right. And sometimes we think of that in like these huge life plans, but actually, can we start to think of that in terms of the life that we're called to live? The plans that God has for us is a life to live, and devotionally, prayerfully, in study and in service, right? A life lived in great love. Sarah, we could talk about this all day, I'm sure, but we got to keep viewers, so we keep these videos short. And thank you so much for joining me. Okay.
Thank you for having me.